Hi world, it's about 7:10. It's the 17th of September 2015. Mercury is going retrograde as I speak, this minute. It actually is coincidence that I'm doing this video right now. I've tried 3 or 4 times in the last 10 minutes and it's not worked, so maybe this one will. It has to be said that this is not a good Mercury retrograde. I've seen a lot of stuff on the internet about people going, oh, but Mercury sextile Venus, it's a lovely Mercury retrograde, it's not going to be a problem. To which I can only say, you're obviously not very good astrologers if you're thinking that. Mercury's squaring Pluto. It's been squaring Pluto a week and a half. It's still squaring Pluto for another half a week. I personally have been aware of 7 or 8 people who have passed over just in this last week or so, 3 of them known personally to me. I'm also aware of a lot of other people who are going through passage, or friends of theirs or family members are going through passage. This is not an easy Mercury retrograde. Mercury is the planet of movement and transition, and of course Pluto is the lord of the underworld, Hades. I mean, as you can see, I'm up. Oh, incidentally, my new book on Pluto is now out in paperback. Email me, I'll show you. There it is. The Law of Pluto. Reshaping the Void. Give me an email and I'll send you details on how to get it. But that's an aside. This morning we had Jupiter opposite Neptune, finally, and hopefully the empathic, sensitive, sympathetic flood of feeling and emotion that so many people have been going through in recent weeks will begin to dissipate now. Also, I note with displeasure that there is a new Iron Curtain spreading across southern Europe. This time it's not against communism, it's against the refugees and the migrants. And then Saturn, as I speak, is at 29 degrees, 58 minutes of Scorpio. It's going to move into Sagittarius in about 7-8 hours from now. So by the time I wake up in the morning, Saturn will be in Sag and a whole new ball game begins, and I think that finally Saturn will begin to work his way properly through these stupid idiots in the Middle East who are masquerading under the name of Islam and cutting people's heads off. The days of fundamentalists, whether it's fundamentalist Christians, fundamentalist Islam, fundamentalism in general is now drawing to a close. So we've got Mercury square Pluto whilst it's retrograding, Jupiter opposite Neptune, Saturn moving into Sagittarius, all within 24 hours of each other. Then we've got equinox in about 5 or 6 days' time, closely followed, of course, by the total eclipse of the moon. And that's going to be on, I think, the 28th of September. And that's going to be an interesting eclipse. That's going to hit a lot of people too. So it just does seem as if there's wave upon wave coming in at the moment of intensity, stress, challenge, pressure. Of course, between now and that eclipse, Mars will move into Virgo and immediately square Saturn. So I do expect further examples of dichotomy, dissension, divergence, especially at the political level. I suspect a number of political establishments are going to become more and more polarised, whether it's United Nations, British politics, Australian politics or American politics. What's going on? The old political models seem to be falling away. So why don't we have proportional representation all around the world? Why don't we have elected representatives carrying out the wishes of the people? Why do we have to stick to this old-fashioned model of party politics where you vote for one party or vote for another party? Why can't we vote for common sense people who stand up and actually represent the people who choose them to represent them in government or parliament? It makes perfect sense to me. Thing is, between now and the end of this month, it's one of the most intense, concentrated periods of challenging astrological activity that I've seen for a long time. The Uranus-Pluto square is still going on in the background, and it just seems crazier and crazier. And of course, during the middle of all this, over I think the 22nd to the 28th of September, the Pope is going to be in America. Oh, you can bet your life that they're going to have the security out for him. It's going to be the biggest security operation the world's ever seen to protect him, I suspect. Once we're into October, I'd like to say it calms down, and indeed it does to an extent, but I've done so many readings in this last couple of weeks, and everyone's chart all seems to be acting up around the second week of October, just as the Mercury retrograde stops. Mercury stops going retrograde about 4 p.m. UK time on the 9th of October. But I do get the impression that we're not going to be out of the woods, metaphorically speaking, until we're into the last 2 weeks of October. So it's crunch time out there. The sensible people now are really doing their very best to keep their peace, not to let their buttons get pushed, not letting other people antagonise or irritate them, because there's a lot of headless chickens out there. It's going to get worse in the short term. The sensible person keeps their own counsel, strives to keep the middle path, and goes out their way to help other people stay stable and centred as well. It's a difficult time. It's going to get easier. By the time 24 hours from now, Saturn will be in Sagittarius, and we're finally going to see some type of new energy coming in. I expect that within the next 24 hours there's going to be 1 or 2 remarkable events in the world that are going to symbolise, hopefully, a fresh start. Humanity is in need of a severe dose of truth and realism. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee, humanity, because if we don't, mate, the human race is probably going to be screwed. Don't want to end on a difficult note, because I'm trying to be as positive and upbeat as possible. To those people in North London who I'm going to be seeing tomorrow and Saturday, and possibly Monday as well, catch you soon. Have a good one. Speak to you soon. Bye.